You said the line that was on my page? Yeah. That was a test. That's not okay. I just woke up today, so I'm not the play. Only's watching my moves. Only's want me to lose. Run around talking down, cause I'm about to blow like a fuse. I just do it for self. Never nothing to prove. When you focused on wins, never nothing to lose. Now it's 10 toes. Had to switch the tempo. These niggas left me on my own. That shit ain't settled. Was only heard by they own. Now they regretful. We'll take that A about your heart. Don't be resentful. And smile at the chance you keep. I just wanna ball. I just wanna ball. I just cut my dough, but with baby on. Don't tell me that you hungry, you ain't never starved. Look, you better let me in on that ride. Cash cost clothes, all the young niggas knows. I'm just trying to break them all, I'm just trying to make them go. Had a couple setbacks, but I don't regret that. If you wanna need that, we don't want to win. Starting to start it, that. Hey, what you wanna do, we started that. Hey, what you wanna do, we started that. Hey, what you wanna do, we started that. We got felonies, me and my niggas don't be voting. The Republicans be letting that coke in. We get it, then cut it, the fiend smoking. It's like, rest in peace to my aunts, rest in peace to my moms, and nigga ain't no spouse. Rest in peace to the corners, the scammers on that block. Rest in peace to the bottom, cause that nigga on top, we lit. I'm Benny Blanco at the end, and you call Lito. I come shoot New Jersey up for my nigga Nino. Money, cash, cost, clothes, all the young nigga knows. I'm just trying to break them all, I'm just trying to make them go. Had a couple setbacks, but I don't regret that. If you want me need that, we don't want to win. Stuck in the started that. Hey, what you wanna do, we started that. Hey, what you wanna do, we started that. Hey, what you wanna do, we started that. Hey, oh, rolling like a Brian. Switch, had to win my time. Now we finna shine. Look me in my eyes. Show me some language, boy. What around town, I need toy. They try to go, but I know they can't fight. Yeah, what's good? What's good? We back. Yeah, we back another week. Yo, a lot went down this week. Yeah, a lot did go down this week. This was definitely a loaded week, honestly. I'm just running a little bit behind. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I was 20 minutes late. I was playing like the little role of. Why would you even think anybody's late? We wouldn't even worry about it, Chris. You know how it is, man. Come on, man. We here. We getting it together. I mean, our guest is late, so. That is what it is. I mean, it is what it is, but the show goes on. Right. Yo, there's a lot to talk about this week. Absolute. Well, you want to kind of go down on it? You want to go off of the hip hop stuff first? Let's go down to hip hop stuff because this beef, I can't even keep track on it. I mean, later on tonight we're gonna have we're supposed to get an exclusive in around 9 o'clock. Absolute, so definitely check out for that. We already got one right now. Yeah, we got one. So that's gonna be. We got one. We got 2 exclusives. You might want to hear. I just wanted to say to start things off. Rest in peace to Mac Miller and Rich Quick. Absolutely. Rich Quick was a really talented artist. I know that's more personal for you. It's like I'm not gonna act like I was his best friend. You know what I mean? I knew him. We knew each other. We knew A, B. Like, yo, whenever you want me, I got you. I'll come in for an interview. But you know what I mean? Yeah. No, I hear it. I gotta pay my respects because he was one of the artists in South Jersey really doing it. Yeah. Like he was going overseas. He had a name for himself. You said, but boy, because I don't know Rich Quick as much as you do in that sense, even as little as you may know him. Mm-hmm. I don't know him that much, so it's like you were telling me he's only in his 30s, early 30s. Yeah, he was like 31. And that's like, even with the Mac Miller thing, how young he was 26. And all that, it's like, it's so funny how at the end of the day, people die way before their time, especially the good ones. I mean, it just goes to show life isn't promised. Nah, it never is. Mm-hmm. It never is. Even touching
touching up on the Mac Miller thing, you know, you going rich quick, you know, God bless to that. You know, that hit everybody. A lot of people know that, especially in the younger generation, and our generation right now. Everybody feels this. I mean, Mac Miller was making some music that everybody could really have something to say about, you know, and now that a person like that is gone. It's funny, I saw, what was the track, Drowning, I want to say?
Drowning?
Was it Drowning or it was Swimming or something? But it went on the top. It's like the top track right now being downloaded on a couple of different sites. You know,
okay.
And it's just funny how, you know, when you die, your music gets to be all the way up on top. You know, people remember you more when you die rather than when they remember when you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and I just thought that was an interesting point at the same time. It's like, you know, giving respect, of course, but damn, man, everybody realized how good he was, but it's too late. You know, in a sense. And that's just a shame. That's a whole shame about the whole industry thing, because a lot of these people that we think are great artists, they got issues.
Yeah.
They have issues, man. And everybody does. It just shows that they're human. Shows they're human like everybody else.
Yeah, I also want to talk about the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj situation. Meek Mill and Drake on stage together. Remy calling out Joe Budden.
Everybody calls out.
No, like literally called him out.
See, I didn't see
on the show.
I didn't see. Wait, on which show?
They was on a show together, and she said everybody replied to him except for you, straight to his face.
Well, the M thing, I saw his podcast on that. I saw why he did that. So I mean Remy. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. I also want to talk about Nas and Khalees.
Now that has nothing to do with the post that he put up.
Yeah,
right? It does. That's what it was.
The second post he put up about his baby's mom.
Look,
I'm gonna try to get Jersey on that.
Look, we'll see. We'll talk about that.
We also gonna talk about the Hall of Fame, NBA. Really no action, but Hall of Fame.
And I mean, your favorite player got into the Hall of Fame.
One of my top, Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about week 1. We're gonna break down some of those games.
Now, then you're gonna hear from me. Football was awesome this week. For all the football fans out there, football is finally back. We here. I hope y'all enjoyed all these games, because there were some good ones and there was some surprises this week. We're gonna talk about that.
Alright, so
I mean, like you said, which one you want to get into first?
I don't know. Let's take a quick break. Let me catch my breath because I was kind of running late.
No.
We'll take a quick break. Then we'll start getting into all this stuff.
I'm still mad at this man for the hoodie that he's wearing right now. Does everyone see the hoodie? Y'all see the apparel? Woo! That boy look good right now on the Playmakers Radio. Let's go.
Alright, we're gonna get this Cam Newton joint.
Alright.
So, fuck it, sports season. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
She called me Cam Newton cause of the way I do my dab. I can't give it y'all cause that's the way I do my dab. She called me Cam Newton cause the way I do my dab. I can't give it y'all cause that's the way I do my dab. She called me Cam Newton cause the way I do my dab. If I hit your chick, I promise you won't get it back. Put it on the corner, had to watch out for them jacks. Pretty in the clip like Stephen Curry in a Mac. Wasn't in the street, but I was right there in the track. Back then they would take our bikes and we go get a Mac. My mother told me never let the money change your ass. And I was told don't never trust a dude who count your cash. I remember back then way before my song was dropping. My bro had them rocks way before P&B was popping. I was told don't never pull a gun unless you pop it. Don't never tell no niggas the cops come, you keep it silent. They say never touch the cops and names and you don't know. Say they got evidence, ain't no proof if they don't show. Leave my pinky out, now she call me Cam. Then I hit the folks, I walk up and do my dab. She called me Cam Newton cause of the way I do my dab.
Okay, I see you, Shaquan.
I can't give it y'all cause that's the way I do my dab. She called me Cam Newton cause the way I do my dab. I can't give it y'all cause that's the way I do my dab.
now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Now I'm like in that mode.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, fine. First off, basketball season pretty dead right now. Let's just bang that out real quick.
At the moment, yeah, I mean,
you said you wasn't impressed by any of the Hall of Fame inductees. Why not?
I mean, my thing is just this. It's not that I wasn't necessarily impressed, and we talked about it further that night too. It's like, it's just those weren't the type of players that I was watching at my time. I got respect for Grant Hill. I got respect for Jason Kidd. Those type of players. I mean, I watched them throughout my whole career. Grant Hill, of course, I only got to see a little bit of, and that to me, I think that's what kills me with Grant Hill, is that I only got to see a little bit of him. So I really didn't get to see the real Grant Hill as much. And because when I say
you probably saw him after like Orlando.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't get to see the Detroit Grant Hill. Like the Detroit Grant Hill was just highlights for me. So I'm watching him then, and it doesn't really resonate for me as much as it does for you. Because you got to see that Grant Hill, and if I would have been able to see him and watch him play games, because I watch it. If I would have been able to see him play games like that and do what he was doing on a consistent basis, I think I would have had a more appreciation for him. But as seeing him, this is what I can say about Grant Hill. When I did see him after the injury and everything, he was always a solid player.
He was a solid player, but he was nowhere.
It's almost like Sean Livingston. Like I wish I would have saw Sean Livingston when he was on the Clippers. Like I do. I wish I would have saw him then, because I only have
what. With the Clippers, he wasn't. How do I put this? He wasn't great.
But he was still more athletic.
You saw the potential, though.
Yeah, you saw that potential. You saw like, whoa, he actually made that play. Like, whoa, he actually did that. Like,
that's the thing with Livingston. It wasn't like, oh my God, this guy's an all-star. He's gonna be like. With Grant Hill, it was, this guy is a monster. Like I was watching the Jason Kidd and Grant Hill interview, and it took me back to them days. Like Grant Hill was a monster.
Yeah.
Like there was a moment in time I thought Grant Hill was better than Pippen.
You know what? I'll sit here and say Grant Hill is better than Pippen.
Like
healthy early Grant Hill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll say that. I'll say that off the jump.
This guy's gonna take. This guy can dominate Pippen.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people don't realize like when he came into the league, like. That was right after the Bad Boys. So they were on their downslide because they had just lost Rodman. And they lost Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer. That whole squad except for Joe Dumars was gone.
Yep. I mean, to be honest with you, probably my favorite out of all of them was Maurice Cheeks. Because I went back and I've watched those Sixers games and those Sixers finals and the playoff games and all that. And I mean, I'm looking at that. I gained a better appreciation for what Cheeks did running that offense as a point guard back then rather than everybody else. And that's just my own Sixers kind of like, I have that objectivity. Like, if it's anything Sixers, I'm going to look at it. And Maurice Cheeks was one of those guys that, I seen him on coaching staffs for a long time, but I never knew what kind of player he was. So I did my research on him, and he was actually a very good player. I mean, this man could do a lot on the court, and he was really a general out there as well, and made a lot of scrappy plays too back then. I mean, steals, defense, all that. Like, they depended on Maurice Cheeks for a lot of those little things that a lot of people don't go for. So that was one of those ones. And then when he started breaking down, talking about his mother and everything, I mean, you can't be mad at that.
No, you can't be.
You know what I mean? So that was probably my highlight.
I thought Mo would have been in earlier.
Yeah, a lot of people did. A lot of people.
I was like, when I seen him, I was like, he's still on the board?
Yeah.
I mean.
And that's a voting all that, who's available at the time, who do we pick here because somebody else has a bigger history and everything else like that. So
I'm just glad Jason Kidd went in.
Yeah, Jason Kidd deserves it, man.
Finally, one of my next players went to the Hall of Fame.
And I like how he said at the end, he's talking about with his wife. He said his wife finally told him, what was it, when he was in, what team at the end was he with? Oh my God, I'm blanking on that.
Knicks.
I think it was the Knicks. Yeah. And he's like, he took a jump shot and he's like, it basically airballed and he missed it.
He went like 0 for 18.
Yeah. And his wife said to him, his wife like, yeah, honey, it's done. You can't do it anymore.
It's over. I mean, that's the thing. People don't realize how hard it is to actually score.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
People are like, I'll score 18. I could put up 10. No, you can't.
You can't do it. You can't
Jason
do it.
Kidd was a professional and went 0 for 18.
Yeah, it happens because your legs get under you. You have to have your legs. Yeah. You have to be there. You have to be able to produce for that whole time from the first quarter to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to do that. And, you know, like, Jason Kidd got to the point where it was over. It was done. I mean, luckily, it was only a couple years after he won that championship.
Yeah. But you look at it and I remember when I went on the Great Adventure. And I'm looking, and the guy's like, "Oh, come on, it's just an NBA 3." And I'm like, "I already like you know how like you got the 3-point contest." Mm-hmm. And the guy looked at me. I was like, "I played on the court. I know I can't hit an NBA 3."
Yeah.
He said, "Just try it." No, I already know.
Yeah.
I already know the distance.
The NBA 3 is different. It's different.
I said that. I knew from the rip, and I walked away.
Because you can hit one, but to consistently hit it. You have to consistently hit that.
The arm strength it takes is way different than high school or like out on the blacktop or anywhere.
Yeah.
Like the arm strength alone.
And remember, to actually get that done, like a lot of the NBA players, they put up how many shots a day? Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like
I remember working out. We would put up like 500-600 shots a day. Yep. A day, like legitimately.
Get those muscle movement.
Not like Brandon Brown said, like 1,000. No, it was like 500-600, and it was probably 3-4 hour sessions.
And I mean, look, the kids nowadays too, you know, that's how they work. The young boys coming in, that's how they work, especially with the 3 the way that it is now. Yeah. They work and they putting up them 500-600 shots a day. That's probably they warm up,
but like,
to be honest.
To me, all the players that went in this year were like the players that started the transition from the big man to the small. You know what I mean?
Huh.
You notice that? Like Grant Hill started becoming that 6'8" point forward.
Yeah.
Ray Allen with the 3-point shot.
Now Ray Allen, that one right there.
I think he can still play.
As much as Maurice
Cheeks, he can still play.
As much as Maurice Cheeks is my guy, Ray Allen just for that shot. You know I'm a LeBron fan, just for that shot. But then even when I watched him in Boston, a lot of people forget the finals that Boston lost. That Game 7 to Kobe.
Yeah.
Ray Allen was that dude.
Yeah.
Like Ray Allen came out there and kept them in. He was going shot for shot with Kobe at the end in that last fourth quarter. Like,
was it a year? It was 2 years ago that they were talking about. There was a rumor going around he was going to come back to Golden State.
Yep.
And they showed a picture of him, and he was like a monster.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, even at the end of his career, he wasn't necessarily dependent upon to give you these big numbers, scoring wise, all that. But you knew he was going to give you that one clutch moment. Yeah, you knew he was going to give you those clutch moments at the end, where it's like Ray Allen hit that shot, Ray Allen made that defensive play, Ray Allen did that. You know.
That's basically what it was. Like when you're counting on less in the end of your career.
Yeah.
Like Jason Kidd, when he went to the Knicks, he was like supposed to be the starter,
and
it killed him. Like if you only need it for like 10-15 minutes, okay, you can handle it.
But the Knicks, at that time too, was just like, I don't feel like that was the best move for him to go to the Knicks. I don't feel like it's the best move for anybody to go to the Knicks till maybe this moment in time, because they're starting to get it together. But we already know for the last probably, we could say 6 years, the Knicks have been kind of in a funk, and that was a shame that Jason Kidd had to end his career in that kind of way, you know. But back to the Ray Allen thing, if he would have come back, I feel like he could hit a 3. But I don't know.
What I'm saying. Like, I feel like players like him, Nash, could come in and say, "I'll give you 5-10 minutes a game."
Man, look, a guy like Ray Allen need to be in the big 3. That's my thing. I'm just like, if you want to continue to play, like, you know, we can talk about the D Wade thing too, because D Wade actually it's not recent, but about a week ago they put an article out saying he was actually considering coming back. He's on that side right now. So, I mean, if he comes back, what's D Wade going to give you? Wade's just in the moment of, like, am I going to retire or not?
I think he should retire.
But, see, I'm just saying, though, if he comes back, he's still going to give you 15 a game.
There's nothing left for him to prove.
There's not. But if he wants to play, he wants to play. You're right. I feel you on that.
If you go... he's still signed with Miami, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he comes back. He's playing for Miami. Miami's not winning a title.
No, we know that they have good competition. though. They do have their team is decent, so they're going to compete.
Their team is decent, but you have nothing left to prove. What does he have left to prove? He's probably on my list, and this is being unbiased. he's probably borderline 3-4 all-time shooting guard.
Okay. No, I feel you.
Like,
that's why I put him.
Like, you got it. To me, is Jordan, of course.
Kobe
second. Then it flip-flops depending on what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm going for career, I'm going Wade. If I go for talent, I'm going for Iverson.
Okay. I hear you.
Iverson will always be the most talented player. Like fuck it. I'll get into it because we talked about most talented quarterbacks and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah. I said it straight up. Like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is more talented than Tom Brady.
I mean, if y'all watch that Bears game, shout out to DH. If y'all watch that Bears game, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers.
But like when you talk about players like Tom Brady's not athletic.
No. Well, let's not be them people. He's athletic enough for what he needs to do, but he's not. He's not an Aaron Rodgers athletic. He's not.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, if I'm going straight off a quarterback who I'm picking, I would go Aaron Rodgers because he's more athletic and more talented.
Right.
And the person I was debating with was just like, oh, well, he's not the. I'm like, no, but you don't get it. Like, Tom Brady got put into a system that he fit. Like, remember Bledsoe?
Bill Belichick made that for him. Yes.
Bledsoe was the starting QB.
And remember, he's done that that's the one thing about the Patriots, and I think that did him well in the beginning. Because remember, the first year when he came in, it was no real offense. It was hand the ball off, make plays when you need to, don't turn the ball over. And then it gradually switched. And then even after the rings, he switched offenses depending on the personnel, and that's how this whole thing with New England started.
Like to me, the NFL is more about systems and coaches. Like, you could put a Michael Vick in any one of those teams, and he's not going to do what Tom Brady did.
No, look what he did in Pittsburgh when he got traded.
Yeah, because his style of play is different than Brady's. Brady's style fits what the Patriots need.
Yeah.
I feel like you could put Aaron Rodgers there, Drew Brees. They might not have that much success because their game is different.
Right. Absolutely. I'm with you there. I'm absolutely with you.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to the person I was debating with. Mm-hmm. Because to me, Tracy McGrady was the most talented NBA player ever. Talent-wise.
Yeah. I you can make that argument. You can definitely make that argument.
Like, I've had people tell me he's the most talented player ever, talent-wise. Mm-hmm. But now that will to win, that mental state, to me, that mental state says a lot.
Yeah.
That just everything else that comes into it. Injuries might come into it. There's a lot of X factors that come into being the most talented.
Of course.
Doesn't make you the GOAT.
No. But it makes you, it stands you out in history. It does. I mean, look at Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was as talented as any running back ever to play.
Most talented running back.
But then we get hit with, his injury, and then we only get that quick little window of what we saw from Bo Jackson.
What would have been if he had a 12-year career?
Right. So there's always going to be an athlete out there like that. And with Tracy McGrady, that was one of those athletes that you're just like, you wish you would have saw more or seen him go to his full potential.
I wish he would have been more dedicated. I wish he would have cared more. Mm-hmm. If he cared, like, I'm not saying he didn't care, but if he cared, like...
He said he didn't care. I mean, he said that.
And then somebody be watching and be like, yo, bro... He said you didn't care, and then like.
Well, then that person, he say, go look at the interviews. I said that. Like, I'm not no shade on Tracy. It's just like that's what he said.
Like, you hear stories about him in practice, and he's sitting there eating pizza while he's but then you put him on the court, and he's still busting everybody's ass.
Right. Look, Tracy McGrady was one of those enigmas, man. Like, I swear, if he would have put it all together, and he knows that, if he would have put it all together, Tracy McGrady would have been
forward with the mentality of Jordan.
He would have been the best. I mean, Kobe Bryant even said it himself. He was like, he was the hardest person for me to guard.
You couldn't guard him.
Like, he was a load. There was nothing he could do. I mean, Tracy McGrady was one of those type of players that you couldn't really do anything about because he had an answer for everything offensively. He did.
Basically.
You know? But, I mean, I think it was a good class. Going back, I'm not hating on the class. Like I said, it wasn't a class that I was able to relate with as much, except for the fact of Mo Cheeks, Ray Allen. And Ray Allen's probably the most relatable for me because I saw him the most. But all of them, you know, they are great players. Every single one of them deserves to go into the Hall of Fame, and I'm happy for the class. I don't think it was a bad class at all. But I'm not going to say it's the best class ever.
No, I'm not saying it's the best class ever. I'm just happy finally a Nets player got in.
Yeah.
One more thing before we go to a break. Knowing Luol Deng got signed to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh my God, is that a surprise for anybody? Like Tom Thibodeau, let's just put this out here right now.
The Chicago Timberwolves.
What are you like? Is it really like the Timberwolves have so much talent, man? I don't want to see the Chicago Bulls again.
No, you know what I want to see? I want to see the Bulls go against the Timberwolves. God. I want people to get confused on what locker room.
What locker room to go to? Oh my Lord!
Hold on.
But I'm serious, man. I think my one point on that, Tom Thibodeau, stop doing a disservice to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Stop it. Them kids, Cat, Andrew Wiggins, Tyus Jones, all them. Like you guys stop. Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler's saying to himself, "This isn't the Chicago Bulls."
Not even that. He doesn't feel like Wiggins puts the work.
I know, but look at his coach. Like, if you were happy with your coaching situation, you felt like your coach was in the best position as well, don't you think that would add something to it? Yeah. Like, maybe he could say, you know what, I know my coach is going to come on Andrew Wiggins. I know he's going to talk the Cat the right way. I know he's going to get them prepared the right way. And I'm not saying that they're not getting them prepared and not doing what they need to do. But Tom Thibodeau cannot make this the Chicago Bulls again. This ain't the Chicago Bulls Part 2. Like, don't go sign Noah out of retirement. Like I don't know what else. Like, what else you need to do, man? Like because the Timberwolves should be better. They should be better.
But we're gonna take this break. Shout out to Blizz Automatic. Went to the joint this weekend.
Shout out to Blizz. Yes.
Yeah, he went to the Coalition joint. We heading out with him to His and Hers. So if you out there, if you trying to go out tonight, meet us up at His and Hers on South Street.
Yeah, we'll check y'all out there. Yep.
And we're gonna be at the joint on Thursday.
Yeah, for Vanity Grand. If you already saw the flyers we put out and everything, you know, we'll be out there definitely chilling out, having a good time. So everybody that's out there, check us out. Check out the performances as well. It's mainly a showcase. That's what it's supposed to be, as well as a party. But we're going to have some artists out there. They're going to be performing, so definitely go out and show love.
Yeah,
shout out to Will.
Shout out to Will. Yeah, shout out to Will. Anything else that we got to think of?
For basketball, man, I'm low. Well, you know what? Nah, one thing on basketball. Shout out to LeBron. I know you're gonna hate me on that, but shout out to LeBron. He put out the podcast for the barbershop. I'm sure a lot of y'all been watching and everything. Yo, the podcasts are pretty good, you know. So definitely check those out. I know a lot of people are. We probably late to that, but.
Stepping out the Lamborghini, who you looking at? On the lower east side with my broken cats. I feel the hate, so it's time to pop.
Yo, I know, Thomas. Thomas is like, I need that hoodie. I need that hoodie. Yo, man, it's not a bad thing, Chris. It's just you got the hoodie before everybody else.
Back to the radio. I wouldn't eat Rihanna out one time on Diddy Bo. God, let you know.
See me looking at you?
Climb out to you.
See me looking at you?
All black, all love in my interviews. No problem, drop a text and I'm a give it to her. Go to war and we can put it on a black card. Close ones at odds, you was at odds. Hands on Akbar, not ta-ta. See you on board of Miami too, voila.
From Miami to the Lower East, running with my killers in the East. My money never stop me going east. In the cool chip tooth like I'm not sick. Running through Harlem like a guy fishing. Shooting out the spur like a wild lemon. In the work, got it wholesale. NY on my back like a hotel. Lower east side on my front load. Front row, I done watch them killers unload. Unfold once I got the voucher from Bo. Now 100 round chopper sound like a drum roll. Interview him like he Patrick Ewing. Big man, big town, like what happened to him? I be feeling like I'm non-stop. When it gets Mike without the fire hard. I'm about to make the city hot. Mini rock and make pump through the kitty pot. Paralyzed overnight if I send a shot. Workers be tapping, make sure you feel the top. Till the top. From Miami to the Lower East. Running with my killers from the East. My money never stops. yo.
Yo, what's good? What's good? We back.
We back.
So we got that out the way. I want to say the hip hop for the end.
So you want to go straight to
let's
football?
Go. First thing we got to talk about is that Le'Veon Bell tweet.
Okay, so
shout out to the Steelers fans.
The one emoji with the looking for it. Or you talking about the whole fact that it wouldn't have happened? It wouldn't happen like that.
Not throwing no shade. You didn't see the tweet. You didn't read the tweet. Did
What's
you?
the tweet?
He said not showing no shade, but I never seen a tie win a game I played.
I saw that. That don't mean nothing.
That's shade.
That don't mean nothing. It's shade, but that don't mean nothing. Like this is my thing on that. What does that at the end of the day? James Conner never did anything in that game to make them lose the game.
He's basically telling the team that they need it.
He's basically well, that's what he's saying. But then look at it deeper. Why do you even feel that way when Conner didn't do any? He's not even really throwing shade to the Steelers. He's more throwing shade to Conner because he's like, Conner didn't do what I could do. And then at the same time, it's like, all right, bro, maybe that's true. It's probably true. Everybody here would agree with you.
10 out of 10 is true.
But at the same time, Conner didn't do nothing to lose the game. He actually was the leading rusher in week 1. He actually was the best running back technically in week 1. Yeah. And you're saying that you're better and you would have won the game and all this kind of stuff. Okay, we're not debating the fact that we would want you over James Conner. We're not. We're not debating the fact that you are one of the top 3 running backs in the NFL. We're not debating that. What we're debating is the fact that you're not playing. Let's talk about that. Now, okay, I understand the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't paying you right now or not paying you what you're worth, which is true. But at the same time, don't come out here and start throwing shade just because they're not paying you. Because your shade on social media doesn't always look like it's actually directed to who it's supposed to be directed to. Let me just say it like this. If you are mad at somebody, are you going to go indirectly or are you going to go talk to them in person?
I'll talk to somebody in person.
Okay, so why, Le'Veon Bell, do we need you to come indirectly on social media so everybody in the world can take what you said and direct it in their own way?
Because he wants that check.
He wants that check, but he also wants the fame and the notoriety as well. Because he wants people to be like, oh, Le'Veon Bell said this. Le'Veon Bell's doing that. Le'Veon Bell just came out and he said something about the Steelers. Now we talking about it.
Okay.
So for me, that don't make any sense to me because you're not gaining any kind of traction off that. The Steelers already saw that they tied the Browns. The Browns played the most perfect game they possibly could. Had 1 turnover. The Steelers had 5 because Big Ben was out there throwing interceptions. So he's not even going to say nothing about the fact that Ben Roethlisberger threw multiple interceptions in the game when he shouldn't have. He's not going to talk about the fact that the Steelers were up 21-7 and they should have had the game won and done, but they let the Browns come back. He's not going to say nothing like that. Yeah. He's going to make it about himself and say, oh, if y'all would have had Le'Veon Bell in the game, you know, then we would have won. We would have won. Like,
I just thought it was funny. I just thought personally.
It is funny, but that's all I see it as. It's funny, but at the same time, you're Le'Veon Bell. You know, it's like if Tom Brady comes out there and says something. It's Tom Brady. He going to say something, people are going to hear it, they're going to have a reaction to it. I don't know why Le'Veon Bell would think that's helping his cause. All that's doing is saying the Steelers are like, okay, you know what, we really don't want to deal with this man. We don't. Because why is he going to act like that? Like, why? You going to put us down the bus because of what? James Conner did bad because you're not playing right now off of your own choice? Le'Veon Bell, you want to play, go out there and play. And then get your contract when it's supposed to be done. And I want Le'Veon Bell to get his money. But I don't like when you're sitting there holding out, not playing with your team. Mm-hmm. And that's why your offensive linemen came at you. Not saying that they don't want you to make your money, but your offensive linemen were out there training, out there with the team. Came in just as much as you want to set your family up as well. So I don't know. For me, that's just hard, bro. That's hard.
No, it was just to me, it was just funny the way he did it. That just made my day. So what happened? What happens? Where do we go from here? Where do they go from here?
The Steelers? I mean, me personally, I would say if
like you said their running back had the number one running out of every. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So do you really need Le'Veon Bell?
I mean, James Conner at the end of the day is not. I wouldn't say that he's the. I wouldn't say at all that he's in the top form of like the top 5 running backs. Like I said earlier, he's not Le'Veon Bell. He's not. But I think James Conner actually, if he never would have had cancer. Hall?
D'Angelo
Hall. I think he's still playing for the Redskins as safety. Corner. That's a corner. He's a corner.
No, I'm thinking D'Angelo.
Oh no, D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah.
No, I think did D'Angelo Williams retire?
I'm just asking.
I think he might have retired, bro.
Oh.
I think he might have retired, honestly. But nah, when it comes to that, like I said, I'm not thinking that James Conner is top 5 at all. I'm not thinking about anything like that. All I'm saying is that James Conner, like I said, if he never would have had cancer coming out of Pitt, he probably would have been a top 5 running back out of that draft. Like he probably would have been in the first round, second round. So at the end of the day, he's a suitable running back. He's a good running back. And if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I say, well, I don't have to pay Le'Veon Bell top flight running back money. I can have James Conner come in and give us suitable yardage. He probably is a 1,000 yard back.
Okay.
Honestly. But he's not that level, Le'Veon Bell level, but he's probably a 1,000 yard back. And then you have the offensive line, the weapons around him on wide receiver and tight end to say, look, no matter who's back there, they're going to get production.
Yeah.
So why do I need to deal with all this extra stuff from Le'Veon Bell? Now, again, I'm a preferences. I don't think the Steelers have done Le'Veon Bell right from the beginning. He should have already been paid. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And some of those things were on Le'Veon Bell.
He agreed to the terms. Like you can't agree to a contract and then say, nah, that's not working.
Right. But in football, you know what? It's a little different just because that money's not guaranteed. And when your production comes up and you show your production consistently, then you do have leverage to say, you know what, I do deserve this deal.
But I get that. But because of when he signed it, they said he couldn't renegotiate till after this.
Right.
So
and that's how the Steelers operate. I mean, he's not the first.
But if you're gonna do that, then don't sign it. If I'm the number one...
But we've always been having this conversation with Le'Veon Bell, like, is he going to come in, is he not? This isn't the first holdout.
But if I'm the number one running back, I know my situation going in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just agree to anything. I'm the number one running back. I'm going to look out for... I'm going to say, okay, right now I'm number one. This is what... if I got to hold out, I'll hold out.
Well, look, that's what he's doing right now.
But I'm not going to sign a deal that I can't change.
Right. That's what he's doing right now because he knows... Because Le'Veon Bell knows this at the end of the day. Next year, they're going to franchise him. They're not going to pay him. They're going to franchise him.
Okay.
Then the year after that, they probably franchise him again. So he knows that when I'm 30, I'll be up for a deal if I stay with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then at that time, as a running back, there's nothing for me. Like, there's nothing for me. As a running back, I won't be able to do a damn thing.
Yeah.
So for him, he's looking at it like, why would I spend this time being franchised when I can maximize my money right now at this point? And then if I'm not with the Steelers now, next year I can go to a team and they'll pay me the amount that I'm owed.
I feel you.
You know, so that's with them. You know, I again, not mad at Le'Veon Bell whatsoever. But I will say this: I don't think that it's right for Le'Veon Bell to be going up on Twitter and talking about the team or talking about, oh, they would have won if I was there. They never would have had a tie if I was there. Come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Yes, I actually have a notebook that I'm keeping track of everything.
I didn't say come on, bro, to you. I was saying come on, bro, to Le'Veon.
Oh, okay.
See, look at your mind, like.
Because, like, I've been playing around these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Now the season started and things are starting to...
I'm happy. I'm happy you into it, bro. Like, look, I'm never mad at that.
Like, the first couple of weeks was like... we was here was like Summer League.
Oh, my God.
that was like Summer League. You know, now it's preseason mode.
I hear it.
So I actually got to take notes and keep notes on what we do and what we don't.
I'm glad the notebook looked like it's filled up a little bit. I'm happy about it.
It's brand new, so.
Oh, Lord. It's the first page. It's fresh. But all right, man, we got the Le'Veon Bell stuff out of the way.
So we talked about. All right, well, next on the list is the Cowboys and Dez Bryant.
First off, let's just talk about how the Cowboys lost to the Carolina Panthers.
Let's just talk about
and
that.
Dak Prescott.
Let's just talk about how how America's team lost to the Carolina Panthers. Can we play Cam Newton again? She called me.
The Panthers are good now.
I don't care.
The defense is good, but Dak Prescott looked.
Speaking of the Panthers, Shaquan Mack will be in the studio next week. Yeah.
That was that.
Huh?
I saw that in the beginning.
What?
You didn't see you didn't see it on the comments?
Yeah, nah, he'll be here next week.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there.
All right. I didn't know what that was necessarily for. I was like, yo, I appreciate it, but I didn't know what that was. Okay.
Nah, he's coming next week.
But so I mean, and then
now that we're talking about the Carolina Panthers, I'm thinking about it.
Like, I mean, their defense. Whoa.
Fuck, not the Panthers. My bad. I take that back. I take that back. Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, there we go. Nah, I mean, watching that game.
Official Cowboys hitter since '83.
I mean, come on now, y'all see the hoodie. Y'all already know. But hey, look at them 49ers. Look what they did in Minnesota this last week. I don't have to say nothing.
But
the Carolina Panthers put it on the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I'm sorry, Dak Prescott, even though it's week 1, there were a lot of throws. It reminded me of Donovan McNabb. He threw a lot of those throws were in the dirt. And he had open receivers and they were in the dirt. And I don't even know what was going on with him.
The Cowboys, do you regret letting go of Dez Bryant?
Yes, absolutely. And then Jason Witten retiring as well. That has a lot to do with what they do. It does, because now who's the safety valve for Dak Prescott?
Neither one.
No, but on the roster right now, who's the safety valve for Dak Prescott?
I don't know.
That's the question everyone's asking. Because at the end of the day, who is Dak Prescott going to go to for a play? You're going to hand the ball off to Zeke, and we all know what Zeke do. Nobody's questioning that.
So you could get down on Zeke. You don't know the two receivers, so.
And the whole game plan against them is this: stop Zeke.
But why isn't Dez picked up yet?
Dez Bryant isn't picked up because Dez Bryant wants an actual contract.
Okay.
He doesn't want to be paid minimum money and then have a minimum role and not be respected in the fact that he is still Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is still a very good receiver. Okay. Even as an Eagles fan, I can say I hated watching Dez Bryant against us every time because I felt like Dez Bryant was going to make a play. It was him, Jason Witten. I knew those two. They were going to make a play.
So why didn't somebody pick him up?
Personality,
49ers
money, and timing. Truly.
So halfway through the season, does somebody pick him up?
I think it's possible, but necessarily would you want to? I hate it when these players come in and then they end up coming in mid-season or something like that because you never really see the true player that season. Maybe if they're able to stay and they have a prominent role and everything works out, but it's harder. It's a lot harder to just come in mid-season. You don't know the offense. You don't know the training staff. You don't know the players. You may know some off a relationship, all that, but you don't really know what's going on. And then you come in, and then maybe you have a certain type of game plan, but you're only being used in a certain way till you get into shape. Because none of these players are in football shape, like the players that are playing.
Because Dez won't even have that preseason up on them.
Won't even have the preseason. Won't even have real training camp experience.
Yeah.
Won't even have real practice experience.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying that it makes his job a lot harder to do if it's done in that way. I mean, to be honest, Dez Bryant is one of the people I was like, I know his personality is kind of like, but at the same time, bro, sign him. Talent-wise, sign the man. I mean, we all saw Josh Gordon, what he just did. He had one catch, and it was a touchdown to tie it up, and it was spectacular. Sidelines, hits the boy, and that's Josh Gordon, and he played a limited role. And we all know the issues with Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
So why can't you sign Dez to put him in something like that? I don't know. I have no idea, man. That's a question for those owners and for the people that run the scouting departments.
I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. Like, I want to see him play.
Yeah, same here.
I want to see him in San Fran.
I mean, and you know what? But I like your receivers in San Fran. I can't even lie. Godwin.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got Pettis there too, the young kid. He's actually pretty
Well,
nice.
then why did we lose?
You lost because you played Minnesota in Minnesota, and Jimmy G finally threw a couple of interceptions. I mean, it was a close game. It was 16-24.
I know, but still.
It's not like it was a blowout or anything like that.
I
But
can't even go to work this week. I can't go to work, bro.
because he was already talking
if
that
Jordan
shit.
is at work and I'm there, I'm going to have no choice. I'm going to have no choice.
Who's Jordan's team?
The Vikings. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Like, that's my bro. But at the end of the day, like...
Look, man, you gotta give respect where respect is due. The Vikings came out there and did their job.
I know I was watching it. Fuck Stefan.
I don't even think it's not even the Vikings are really good. Like, you have to understand that, number one. The Vikings are far ahead of where the 49ers are, especially defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that defense that y'all went up against, the fact that you made it a close game and it was 16 points, 16-24, that's not a bad showing for the 49ers. Just Jimmy G, don't throw as many interceptions. He had 3.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real about it. He had 3 interceptions. At the end of the day, those are 3 opportunities y'all would have had to be able to tie it up and then go ahead. So, you know, this is a learning experience for the 49ers. I still hold the 49ers high in that division. We saw what the Seahawks did this week. We saw the Washington Redskins go out there with AP and Alex Smith and beat down the Arizona Cardinals. So the only real person y'all really worry about in your division are the Rams. But the thing is that the NFC is so loaded, it's going to be hard to get into that wild card if it ends up the Rams win that division. So the 49ers, you know, take this L, keep moving forward, keep doing it. You face the team that was in the NFC Championship game last year at home. Come on, man. That's a hard pill to swallow.
It is a hard pill to swallow that we lost.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to being able to say we got an 8-0 quarterback.
Look forward, and look, you had a 7-0 quarterback. You did.
We had.
You did.
Now we lost.
He lost one time. Just once. It's the same thing as, look, if the Eagles came out there and lost this week against the Atlanta Falcons, I was telling people out there at the place, I was like, look, at the end of the day, it's one game.
No, I get
How
that.
much football, how many things have you watched? Like, one game. I want to see how good they come out and how much fight they have right now in week 1. That shows you something. You know, that's what really shows you something. The fact that the 49ers made it close and were able to fight and do everything they did in that dome, look, man, that should show you a lot right there. Just like with Chicago fans out there. I'm with all the Chicago fans out there. Y'all should feel something right now.
Let's take a quick guess coming in.
Okay.
All right.
Heard that.
So we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to get our special guest in here. All right?
Why you trying